Okay, this is super view. Try it again.
Welcome back to the Mark and Mike Show. Once again, Mike's not with me. He's not feeling too good today, so I'm up here riding solo. This is going to be a little different video, probably a bit boring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to time myself going up and then turn around and coming back down this particular round. This was the trail that Mike and I set a goal of just being able to do a number of years ago, and I've finally gotten good enough to where I can actually make it to the top and back down again. And the official name of this trail is Woody Section number 50 up at the Upper Nestucca OHV area in Oregon. We call it Yard Sale Hill because first time we went up it, there were bikes scattered all over the place and it looked like a yard sale. And you can see here I'm stuck on these little roots here. Of course, it's a lot steeper than it looks, and so part of the problem you have is when you gas it, that front end just wants to come up off the ground. And so what you have to do when you get stuck on a root like this is weight the back end of the bike, and then right as the bike hits the root, de-weight it to get up it, and then gas it so you can continue over. And there's two roots here, so I have to make it up over the first one and the second one. And you know, it's not that hard, but you can see it's giving me a little bit of trouble. Finally, I figured it out there. And this is actually a pretty good hill for me to ride when I'm up here riding solo because it's above the staging area. So if my bike happens to break, I can pretty much coast back down to the staging area. There'd be a fair amount of pushing, but at least I'm pushing a downhill for most of it. And yeah, it's not a super well traveled trail just because of the difficulty, so that's kind of a negative. But I think it's a fairly good trail when I'm solo up here, just in case something goes wrong. Now, for most of this ride, I had been turning around right here and then going back down. I'd gone up and down a number of times, and this was actually the first time this day that I'd continued up this far. So you can see I stop every once in a while to kind of figure out what line I want to take. There's a lot of different line options. Mainly, I'm just trying to figure out which set of roots are going to cause me the least amount of trouble. And this was also my first ride with my new GoPro 5, so I was trying, every time I would go up and down, I would try a different setting. This is Super View, and I don't like it. You probably won't see Super View again, but this was the only time that I actually went all the way to the top without stopping and taking a break or turning around or something. And so as far as me trying to figure out what my time was, this was the best view. Because a couple other times I would go up to about here and then turn around and go back down instead of going all the way to the top, because the rest of it's pretty simple, as you'll see here. So once I got to the top up here, I actually took a short little break, changed the camera settings, and got a food bar, but cut that out of the video so I could figure out my time.
I also turned my idle up. I don't know if I turned it up enough though.
Now the video is set on wide with stabilization on, and I definitely like this a lot better. I think this will probably end up being one of the settings that I use in the future.
Oh, I'm tired.
One setting that I really don't like is it's got this automatic setting where it tries to compensate for wind, and you can hear the microphones cutting in and out, the side mics going in and out, and I definitely don't like that, so I'm going to be turning that on. And as I was doing this ride, I had no idea that I'd be timing it, so I actually wasn't trying to make this up or down at a decent pace. I was just kind of practicing and trying to get a little bit better. So this will be a really good representation of to see how much I can improve as we go. This section right here always kind of freaks me out because right beyond, you can't see it, but there's a straight drop off right around the corner there. So if you ended up getting a little bit too much speed, there's no way I'm getting the bike back up there without getting a number of guys out to help me. And you can hear I'm breathing pretty hard. I'm pretty tired at this point. I've probably gone up and down this maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 times at this point. And there's neutral. Nothing worse than hitting a false neutral. But I've gone up and down this a number of times, and I was definitely starting to get tired at this point of the ride. And Mike actually hates this trail. Years ago, he crashed his bike at the very bottom of this big pile of rocks, and it made this terrible noise, and it just freaked both of us out. But because it was his bike, I think it freaked him out a little bit more than me, and he just hasn't gotten to the point where he enjoys this.
Oh, my foot cut. Oh, that hurt. toe caught on that rock.
Yeah, if I would stand on the pegs, I wouldn't catch my feet on the ground. So it'll be really interesting to see how much we improve. We can use this kind of as a baseline. So I've said this before, but right about here, my wife walked up to this section, and she was so steep she didn't want to stand there. She was afraid she was going to fall off. And you look in the video, and it doesn't look steep at all.
I'll try it one more time.
Thanks for watching.